What is online communities of learning? Online learning communities or virtual learning communities or network learning communities are learning communities that are computer mediated by interconnected computers. And later on, we will discuss the innovative technologies for teaching, learning, and assessment tasks under online communities of learning. But before we start our lesson, I'll prepare simple activity. What are you going to do is raise your hand icon on your MS Team account. If you're using this kind of social media, just click the raise hand icon. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. Are you ready? Let's start! Good job, kids! Now, let us move on to our topic. But wait, I'll forget to introduce my name. Hi, this is Hernando Salme, and I'm going to discuss the online communities of learning. Innovative technologies for teaching, learning, and assessment tasks. We have social media, other platforms for online learning, and lastly, we have TESDA online program. But first, let us know what are the types of social media that we use in our online learning. The first one is Google+, like Google Drive, Gmail, email, etc. Besides great graphics or themes, Google+ takes teacher to their students with circles that makes managing virtual communication an art. Students might need to know more about a particular lesson because they didn't quite get it the first time. Pull them into a circle of their own with just the right tools to connect them to their paths to understand and learning. The second is Facebook. We all know Facebook is the most easiest social media app that everyone have. The great part about Facebook is that everyone is on it, meaning to say students love connecting with their friends and family with Facebook, so telling them to check out the page where you post only makes sense. However, it's very important to stay professional and have a separate professional account. The third one is Twitter. Twitter where every sad person is here, but not quite. The best way to use Twitter for teaching is a reminder to students that they need to complete an assignment for a particular due date or that they have an exam coming up soon, so study this or that. Sometimes teachers even use it for inspiration by sending famous code. Instagram. Students love Instagram for so many reasons, but mainly for the photos and effect available to them. Teachers can create assignments that tap into the need to Instagram, such as photo essays where students take photos, upload and add captions, or students can even create campaigns for certain organization or just for a lesson. Vimeo. I know some of you didn't familiar on this kind of social media. If you want to share videos on Facebook or Twitter, use Vimeo. But there's a whole lot more teachers can use it for such uploading and storing video than utilizing it as a tool to teach students more about creating video. Vimeo teaches for you at Vimeo Video School with lessons and tutorials. It is just like YouTube. Skype. Using Skype means connecting with anyone, anywhere, at any time. Means the students not only connect with their teachers, but teachers encourage students to broaden their view of the world. Set up virtual connections by contacting other teachers, then connect the students to each other. But nowadays, Skype no longer very usable because we already have MS Teams, Zoom, and Google Classroom to improve the virtual connections between students and teachers. YouTube. As most people say, Google is the answer to our thoughts, but sometimes YouTube. Educators of any level can click on education's category within YouTube and find several subcategories such as university, science, business, and engineering. YouTube even has a special section dedicated to teachers and how to teach with it. But even if teachers never visited the section because they could teach using all the great videos available according to subjects or searches. Also, under social media, we have the connected educators. It's different from social media that we discussed a while ago because the connected educators, it is a website, but still we can consider it as social media because it imparts knowledge during this pandemic. A great site for connecting with other educators. It gives educators several avenues with which to find other like-minded educators. A visual mapping engage narrow down certain criteria, allowing educators to save valuable time and energy. And lastly, we have Edmodo. Acts as a playground for teaching and learning with a place for posts, calendars, and general communication for teachers and students. Linking to students become more simpler and more efficient as well as more effective once students enjoy the presentation of it. It makes it easy to share valuable apps with students. And let's move on to the other platforms of social media. It is the best online learning platforms in the Philippines by James Gonzalez in August 28, 2020. The number one is Massive Open Distance e-learning or MODEL. It is for learners who wants to the People University of the Philippines caliber of teaching but prefer a more flexible schedule. UP Open University has a solution. UP Open University is the country pioneer in online teaching. Suyumano, the beauty of online learning is that it isn't limited to any single geographic locations. It's something that can be shared over cities, region, and even countries. And lastly, we have education.ph. If there's one thing that at the center of the online learning craze, it's that furthering your educations and development is never a bad thing. The last topic that we were talking about is TESDA online program. One of the most well-known and foundational institutions for skills learning in the Philippines is the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA. The main goal of TESDA is to develop the Filipino workforce with world-class competence and positive work values and to provide quality technical educational and skills development through its direction, policies, and program. And this is where our class will end. See you next meeting. I hope you learned something for me. Have a nice day.